I had been in nonprofit arts leadership. I was an artistic director of a storefront theater company in Chicago. In that time, I had a partner who was deeply abusive financially and verbally and emotionally. And I separated myself from both the institution. I resigned quite publicly, and I left that partner quite publicly. And it had transformed my friend circles. It had transformed my vocation. It was a loss of the home I thought I was building and the life I thought I was building. Like, it was a lot to process at once. I had spent like 15 years trying to get to the point of being an artistic director, and I didn't know what to do next. And so I was experiencing a thing where I would feel suddenly as though I were dying, just really feeling like properly I was having some kind of cardiac event. There was a lot of pain in my body. I'd had a lot of injuries, like things I just hadn't really addressed. I couldn't speak, certain names. I couldn't see certain people. I couldn't live my life. I was still living in the same place where all of those things happened. I couldn't kind of refresh the space. Like, I was just in this stasis. So I wasn't moving forward. I was just really stuck in this repeating loop. I had a friend who had done ketamine therapy for the first time that January, and it was having a very positive effect on her life. So I had not had what I would call field experience with ketamine before, but I was willing to try it because I really had done everything I could for myself, I think, up to that point. And I ended up having a client who was aware of psychedelic retreats and had worked with them before and recommended it to me. And I was like, I still cannot afford this. I'm still in this position financially after that relationship. And I was like, let me think about it. Let me see what I can scratch up, if anything. That's why the accessibility portion of it, I was also really moved by. Because, it is something that has a cost barrier traditionally, And so it really was a once-in-a-lifetime experience in that way. It was 4 days and 3 sessions. The experiences were really wonderful. I loved how many different tools, like I said, between therapy and meditation. Amy is an incredibly wonderful therapist. And there were multiple therapists. There were almost as many staff, if not more staff, than there were participants, which was really nice. My first day was deeply visual, but it was also very intense and took me on a rather graphic funeral of my past choices and patterns and people. And that experience was very meaningful to me. And I really came out of it feeling like I had put some things to rest, feeling like I had finally properly grieved. There's not a lot of space for grieving in our culture. And I think that the ketamine retreat really helped me to synthesize that, like a process that would have probably taken another year or two. I've now been able to take action, and I have more energy and confidence to do the things that need doing to build my life the way that I want it to look. Before the retreat, my life experience was chaos chases me everywhere I go. Right? Like, I try to create stability, and then something, like the big bad wolf blows it all away. But the way that I am approaching that is just so different. Like, it's not an incredibly anxiety-inducing situation. So what is to be harvested from this experience? Rather than, why is this happening to me? Being relatively unafraid to try things, to put oneself out there, to do what you really want to be doing. Where the integration comes in for me, and the pieces that I'm still working at, are the things around wellness and physical routine. That commitment of eating well, sleeping well, and exercising. Like, I am walking, I am hiking, I am doing occasional yoga and stretching, breath work. I stayed in touch with a lot of people from the retreat, you know what I mean? And I would say everybody seems different in some way. Nobody is unchanged from it. Thank you. I mean, this has been a tremendous experience in my life. It really has been, and I'm very grateful for it. Yeah, it's a really beautiful thing.